Have you ever noticed how a single notification can steal the next 20 minutes of your life? One moment you're ready to work, focused and determined, and the next moment you're scrolling, checking messages, or watching something you didn't even plan to watch. It happens to almost everyone. And the scary part is, most people think they simply lack discipline. But what if I told you that focus isn't something you're born with, it's something you build? A few years ago, I felt exactly the same way. My days were busy. But at the end of the day, I still felt like I hadn't really done anything important. My mind was always jumping from one thing to another. And then I decided to run a small experiment. Just 3 days. Not 3 months, not 3 weeks, just 3 days. I told myself, what would happen if I treated my attention like money? What if instead of wasting it everywhere, I invested it carefully? And that simple experiment changed the way I work, think, and focus. Today, I want to share the 5 simple habits that made a massive difference for me in just 3 days. And before we dive in, if you enjoy videos that help you upgrade your mindset and improve your life, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Here on The Think Changer, we explore powerful ideas that can help you think differently and live better. Now, let's get back to the story. The first thing I realized is that most people lose their focus before the day even begins. They wake up, grab their phone, check notifications, and then start asking themselves what they should do today. That simple question drains mental energy. Psychologists call this decision fatigue. Every small decision you make slowly drains your brain's ability to focus on what really matters. So the first habit that changed everything for me was something very simple. I started planning my next day the night before. Every evening, before going to bed, I wrote down the one task that absolutely had to get done the next day. Just one, not a huge to-do list filled with 10 random tasks. Just one mission that would make the day successful. When I woke up the next morning, I didn't have to think about what to do. The decision was already made. My only job was execution. This small habit removed confusion and gave my mornings a clear direction. The second habit might sound obvious, but it's surprisingly powerful. I removed my biggest distraction. For most of us, that distraction is the phone. That little device is amazing, but it's also one of the biggest focus killers ever created. Messages, notifications, social media updates, each one pulls your brain away from deep thinking. So during my experiment, I started putting my phone in another room while working. At first it felt uncomfortable. I kept thinking, what if someone messages me? But something interesting happened. After a few minutes, my mind became calmer. I wasn't constantly checking my screen anymore. There's a psychological idea called stimulus control. It basically means that your environment shapes your behavior more than your willpower does. If cookies are sitting on the table, you'll probably eat them. If they're not there, you won't even think about them. The same thing happens with your phone. If it's on your desk, you'll check it. If it's in another room, your brain stays focused. Removing distractions is often easier than fighting them. The third habit gave my work a rhythm. I started using a simple timer. You may have heard of something called the Pomodoro technique. The concept is simple. Work with full focus for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. That's it. It sounds almost too simple to work, but there's a powerful reason behind it. Focus works like a muscle. If you try to force it non-stop for hours, it gets tired and weak. But when you give it short bursts of effort followed by rest, it becomes stronger. During those 25 minutes, I made a rule for myself. No distractions, no checking messages, no switching tasks. Just one task and full attention. And something surprising happened. Knowing that the timer was running made it easier to concentrate. It felt like a small challenge. Just stay focused until the timer ends. When the 25 minutes were over, I allowed myself a short break. I stood up, stretched, drank some water, maybe walked around for a minute. Then I returned for another focus session. That rhythm created momentum, and momentum makes focus much easier. By the end of the first day, I noticed something interesting. I had completed more meaningful work in a few hours than I usually did in an entire day. And more importantly, I didn't feel mentally exhausted. That led me to the fourth habit, which is about managing your energy. Most people only rest when they are completely burned out. They push themselves until their brain refuses to cooperate. But during this experiment, I started doing the opposite. I rested before I felt exhausted. After a few focus sessions, I took a proper break away from screens. Sometimes it was just a short walk. Sometimes I grabbed a glass of water and looked outside for a minute. These small breaks helped reset my brain. Think of your energy like a bank account. If you keep withdrawing without depositing, eventually the account becomes empty. But if you regularly add small deposits of rest, your energy stays strong throughout the day. The interesting thing is that resting intentionally doesn't slow you down. It actually helps you move faster because your mind stays sharp. Another benefit started appearing as the days went on. My anxiety started decreasing. When your mind constantly jumps between tasks, it creates a feeling of chaos. You feel busy but not productive. But when your work has structure, your mind becomes calmer. You know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and when you're going to rest. That clarity reduces stress in a big way. And that leads to the fifth and final habit that completed this system. At the end of each day, I spent about 10 minutes reviewing everything. I simply asked myself 3 questions. What worked well today? What distracted me the most? And what can I improve tomorrow? This small reflection created a feedback loop. Instead of repeating the same mistakes every day, I started learning from them. Maybe I noticed that a certain time of day was perfect for deep work. Maybe I realized that a certain habit was breaking my concentration. When you observe your own behavior like this, improvement becomes natural. Many people go through their days on autopilot. They work, they get distracted, they repeat the same cycle again and again. But when you pause and reflect, you start gaining control over your habits. By the end of the 3rd day, something powerful had happened. My focus felt sharper, my mind felt calmer, and my work felt more meaningful. Nothing magical had happened. I didn't discover some secret formula. I simply built a few small habits that protected my attention. And that's the big lesson here. Focus isn't about forcing yourself to work harder. It's about designing your environment and routines so your brain can do its best work. Think about it for a moment. Every day, your attention is being pulled in hundreds of directions. Notifications, social media, messages, news, endless content. If you don't protect your attention, something else will steal it. And attention is one of the most valuable resources you have. The work you're proud of, the goals you want to achieve, the life you want to build, all of it requires deep focus at some point. Not constant busyness, but real, concentrated effort. So here's a challenge for you. Try this experiment for just 3 days. Plan your most important task the night before. Remove your biggest distractions while working. Use a timer to create focused work sessions. Take short breaks to protect your energy and spend a few minutes reviewing your day. That's it. 5 simple habits. Just 72 hours of intentional focus. You might be surprised by what happens. And if you're watching this on the Think Changer, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever struggled with focus in a world full of distractions? Which of these habits do you think would help you the most? Share your answer in the comments below, because your experience might inspire someone else who's watching right now. If this video gave you even one useful idea, take a moment to share it with a friend who might need it. Sometimes a simple message can change the direction of someone's day. And if you want more content like this that helps you think smarter, stay focused, and build better habits, make sure you're subscribed to the Think Changer so you never miss the next video. Remember, you don't need perfect discipline to improve your focus. You just need a few smart habits and the willingness to start. Your attention is powerful. Protect it, invest it wisely, and you'll be surprised at how much your life can change. Now the question is simple. Are you ready to try those 3 days?